Hi. Well, I got a call from Patches this morning, and she wanted me to do a quick uh, cooking. And I know I've been saying I was going to get it together, but now I am getting it together. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to fix some rib tips, sauerkraut, mashed potatoes, and homemade egg milk cornbread. Very good. And we're going to cook it as fast as possible. So, first thing I'm going to do with the rib tips, and this dinner can be added on to a big family, but since I'm an empty nester, which means all my kids are grown, and now I'm home, by myself. Got a boyfriend sometimes, but that's another story. But so I have learned to cook quick meals for myself, so that's what we're going to do today. So I had some rib tips. Now you can use rib tips, pork chops, anything pork, and one small size can of sauerkraut. Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna wash out the rib tips. And remember, even though when I freeze rib tips or any meat, please, please, please wash your meat out. Simple like that. So I'm going to use this pot. I'm going to dump these rib tips in. And this is so fast and easy and quick when you come home and want a quick dinner. Because at this age in my time, I always want something quick what I haven't kept cooking a whole lot. Now, to this pot, I'm going to add my secret ingredients to my sauerkraut and rib tips is chicken seasoning. And I just, before I put any water or anything, I just sprinkle the chicken seasoning on it. I also use garlic powder because garlic, especially in the wintertime, boosts the immune system. And you know the old fashioned about garlic being a Russian penicillin. So remember that, especially in the wintertime. So I'm just sprinkling it. This is onion powder. So I'm going to take some of this onion powder, and like I said, there's no measurement. You just shake it. And then a little black pepper. And I have the burners turned on the lamp past high because we want this quick done and in a hurry. To this, I'm going to put 2 to 3 cups of water. It depends on how much meat that you're going to be cooking. So I said this is about 1/4 of a pound of rib tips. So to 1/4 of a pound of rib tips, I'm going to cover it. Make sure the water covers your meat. So if you want to multiply the meat, you can do that. Put as much meat you want. Just make sure it's 1 inch over the meat in water. And that's what I'm getting ready to do. With that, I'm going to set it on the burner. And I want a fast boil, so we got it turned up high. The next thing I'm going to do is fix the sauerkraut. I'm just going to open this can because right now I want it to come to a boil until the meat has turned and looked done. Rib tips is good to fry, like you fry pork chops. It's good for sauerkraut, like you would use in neck bone. But it's quick and easy and very good. Seasoning in it. And I got to plug this in. I had to move my toaster so you guys could see me. So, that ain't it. And I done took it loose. Check this out. Happens all the time. I'll go the old-fashioned way. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay. To this bowl, I'm going to make some instant potatoes. The trick to instant potatoes, to make it taste like fresh potatoes, is to use canned milk and homogenized milk and more than enough butter. But what I do is I take about a cup of water, 2 cups, in a bowl this size, and I put it in the microwave. And I let the water get hot. That would be the beginning of the instant potatoes because we want a quick dinner here. Don't want to be in the kitchen all day long. So this is what we'll do. And I'll turn it on to 2 or 3. Just enough when you get in hot water. That's done. So, the next thing I need to do is show you how to make cornbread. I have different cornbread. I have hot water cornbread, milk and egg cornbread, baked cornbread, cornbread with jalapeno peppers, and a can of corn. And also, what was it though? Somebody just asked me about yesterday. Can't remember, but don't worry about it. I'll think about it later. When I do, I'll record and tell you. But right now, I'm going to start making the cornbread. I have my rib tips getting ready to come to a fast boil. My water is in the microwave for instant potatoes. Okay. And I'm going to have to go with this the old-fashioned way. And I know all you guys that the day before you had a can opener. Now, when we had can openers, it's fine. But it was a time and place that we didn't even have the carriage, the punch in a row. We had to use a knife. So, since I just messed up, I'm going to get new appliances. I really wasn't ready to do this, but we're going to do this. And I'm going to open this can up of sauerkraut. And it's an art to doing this. But it's a lot of people out there going to know about when this day and time was. It's when you open the can with a knife. So when it comes with the rib tips about, I'll say come to a fast boil. And we do have it where the water's up where it is a fast boil. Ready to come out of the can. Okay. Now, time to make a couple of pieces of cornbread. I'm not going to make a whole lot because I don't need to. Because it's like a 1-person, maybe 2-person fast meal. So, what I'm going to do, now you can use any kind of cornbread, cornmeal. Well, so today is going to be quick egg cornbread. I'm going to put about mixing spoon. So you can also multiply this. So every heaping spoon. So I'm putting 3 spoons of cornmeal. Because like I said, I'm only going to make a couple of pieces. I'm not going to make a whole lot of pieces. And to the same amount. Okay. I'm going to add flour. I think this is 1/3 cup. Okay. 3 serving spoons of cornmeal. Self-rising or not. Because I'll show you that in a minute. And then I'm going to mix 1/3 cup of flour. All purpose. Or self-rising. It don't matter. So when you cook, you cook. And my thing when the kids was little and I had to work all night is I tried to do everything while they was at school and then get some sleep. So I learned how to cook good, healthy meals real fast. So to this is a can of baking powder. Every kitchen should have it. It's real good for your cornmeal, flour, making homemade dinner rolls, which I will show you later. To this, I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Very simple. Very easy. Very fast. And also good. And I'm just going to stir that little bit up. To this dry mixture, I always use sea salt. In all my recipes, I use sea salt. That's iodine because you do need this in your minerals for your vitamins. This is good. So what I do is I go to the palm of my hand, sprinkle about a third teaspoon and dump it. And toss the rest over my shoulder. Mix in the salt and flour well. Now, this is when I give me some eggs and some milk. This is how you make milk egg cornbread today. I'll teach you everything else as time go by. So like right now, we want a quick one. 1 egg. No water, just 1 egg. And I'm going to stir that 1 egg in the middle of the dry cornmeal. And try to mix it in as good as possible. This when you add just enough to make it a thick mixture, not a whole lot. But you don't use water with this recipe. With this recipe, you just use egg and milk. Makes the cornbread so good. And I'm just going to stir it on in. Make sure it's wet where all the cornmeal is wet. Not with water, with milk. And you just keep on until you get it to a thick little mixture. And everything is wet. And it looks like this. And stir it in good. Put the skillet on. And like I said, I have this on line past high. But what I'm going to do is turn it down to medium. But I want the grease to get hot for the cornbread. And we'll just set all this aside. Now, I was going to teach you guys how to use 1 can of biscuits, 1 can of peaches, and make homemade peach pies. But it was a couple of ingredients I didn't have in the house. I'm here in Colorado, and I didn't run out yet. I mean, I had ran out of a couple of things I needed, but I got it. Now, the grease is getting hot for the cornbread. And the rib tips are coming to a good boil. Because as soon as it boils, it's cooking it. Rib tips, remember, is like pork chops. And remember, it can be some of the best fried pork chops because it's all pork. So, I will take rib tips, dip it in a flour batter, with the flour seasoned with garlic powder, onion powder, and a little chicken seasoning. I use chicken seasoning in a lot of recipes because it gives it an extra and that's it. So, the rib tips has been on long enough for me to add the sauerkraut because, like I said, you just want it to come to a fast boil. And that's what we'll do. So please bear with me as I do this. Remember, no children can do this. I will get a new can opener. Then you rake it all in. Now to this, you already have seasoning in it. You don't need to add nothing else. Don't even try rinsing off your sauerkraut or none of those things. Just let it boil. There we go. Sauerkraut and rib tips. Very good. We'll set that over there with the fork in. No, we'll take the fork and stir it. Very, very, very good. Now the grease is hot enough, so I'm going to couple of pieces of cornbread. Very good. Because there again, we only cooking for one. Now, maybe two. You can do either one or two. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. But when you're like I said, all my children are grown. And I very seldom on Sundays and things cook a whole lot. But that's okay. So we got the rib tips and sauerkraut boiling. We got the milk, egg, cornbread frying. And I mean, you're talking about good. Yes. Very good. Now to deal with the instant potatoes in a microwave. That's the next thing. Water's good and hot. So remember, maybe I should put that on one. I think I will. Because you cannot put milk and water in the microwave, it will boil over. So when you get the water bubbling, then you can add a little milk. There we go. Instant potatoes. Turn the cornbread to medium, it's cooking. There we go. Water. Tinted with root beer. The pop. Very good. Lift back out. My favorite. Turn your cornbread over. When the edges get golden brown, that's when you know to turn it over, okay? Very good. And very quick. So, in all I use 3 minutes in the microwave to heat the water. Before I put anything in it, I'm going to put a tab of butter. And the butter is, you know, whatever you want to amount you need. Take a fork and mash it up. So that hot water is melting the butter, which is good. Since I'm making a small amount, I'm pouring a little milk in the water. Don't need a whole lot. There again, we're going to sea salt. Remember, if you need salt and gotta have it, at least have sea salt. It's the best kind of salt you can get. To that, I put a little sprinkle in my hand, about 1/3 of a teaspoon. And to that, I'll do it. It'll work. To that, I'll put the instant potatoes in. And I'm using about a cup, because I thought there's nobody going to eat but me. And you use as much water as you can. I mean, potatoes, instant potatoes, because it's quick. Take your fork and fluff it. Keep fluffing. Keep fluffing. This is when you use your canned milk. Evaporated milk. Okay, that's good. And with that, I'm stirring and fluffing. The potatoes is ready. The sauerkraut and rib tips is ready. The cornbread is cooking wonderful. Whoever made these cabinets was not short people conscious, because I love I really do. I love the cabinet space here. In fact, here is a time where it's almost like a cabin in the wood. I am turning the cornbread, fried egg, milk egg cornbread over the last time. Okay, when I do that, at the last time, when you use this, you don't fry it with added butter. Just when you get ready to take it out, you just squeeze it. And I'm the type of cook, old fashioned. I squeeze what I want. And I put about that much in the skillet. So, and turn it over one more time, and that butter gets in your cornbread. Real good. Very good. And quick dinner. And so I'm not timing myself. But a good cook, a person who want to cook, know how to cook, the first thing you must know is do not be butter shy. Do not be all day in the kitchen. I was taught that you go in the kitchen, cook what you got to cook, get done with it. Multitask the stove. Make all burners count. I have forgot one thing about the peaches with peaches. But I will be doing another show, and I'll be showing you how to make a can of biscuits and a can of peaches. And also how you can take a can of biscuits and make fried meat pies, and then you dip it in ranch dressing. Very good. Cornbread's coming. Butter's going in. This is my third turnover. So that butter sizzling in on the cornbread, wonderful. Now let's serve it up. And see what we have got. At this point, with the third turnover with the butter melting into the cornbread, is when you, hold on one second, is when you take the good milk egg cornbread out of the skillet. Look, beautiful, huh? And very good. Take that off the stove. Put that in the sink. Now, to this recipe, gotta have another spoon here. Okay, we'll do this. We will do this. Cornbread, mashed potatoes, and, well, that may not be the greatest thing. Let's see. Very quick, very easy, very, very good. Rib tips and sauerkraut, mashed potatoes from the microwave, and milk egg cornbread. Very good, very good. So as I go with this show, with 1975 patches, or Life with Cousin patches, I got butter, baby. I got butter, baby. Hey, use it. If you got butter, use it. And remember, God don't close no windows without opening no doors. Have faith of a mustard seed. Treat everybody like you want to be treated. Teach your kids manners. Too much is going on in these days that people are not teaching their children manners and how to behave. Because what you don't correct at home, the police will correct it in jail. But look, I love you. I'll be doing this again. This is very good. Very quick and easy. Southern dish. Love you. Smooches. And like Patty said, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your cousin, tell your auntie, tell your friends, even tell your enemies to tune in to 1975 Patches. I got butter, baby. Smooches. Bye.